You're listening to the Slaying Self-Doubt podcast, where we empower women of faith to identify, acknowledge, and accept their doubts and limits and beliefs in order to give birth to their God-given purpose. Join me and sometimes some of my friends on our journey as we remind you that you are not alone. I'm Felicia Wallace, and together we will find our fears and slay them. Welcome back to another episode of the Slaying Self-Doubt podcast. I am here with Catrina Tillman from She Ministries. Hello, Catrina. How are you?
Hello. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Oh, you are so welcome. So pre us pressing record, we were having a conversation about how we met, and I told her that I actually have been stalking her for a while. So, I being on this journey, like when I was, I had one of the first things I did, what the Lord told me to do was to create a Slaying Self-Doubt Instagram page. And I was kind of like, I don't even know what I'm going to do with it. But in the very beginning of this journey, like I had a personal one, and then I had the Slaying Self-Doubt one. And for whatever reason, I was in this space of like, okay, if the Slaying Self-Doubt is like purposeful from God, then I need to, find like empowering things and this, that, and the third. And so I eventually transitioned to just using Slaying Self-Doubt because I was only posting stuff about the podcast and things about Slaying Self-Doubt. So I just got rid of, the other one. But one of the things that I was doing as I was kind of like filtering through the people I wanted to follow and this, that, and the third, I came across your page because you have prayer mats and they're super comfortable. And I really loved how like you were incorporating prayer and like scripture in like your everyday living, in your everyday life. And so it was something that definitely inspired me, and like just kind of watching your journey. And I had you on my list last year, but I wasn't obedient. So I did it this year. And so now we are here. So welcome.
We are here. We're here.
Yeah. So can you tell the audience a little bit about yourself and how you got started?
Well, my name is Catrina. I am an entrepreneur. I'm a mom of 4 beautiful wife, married to my husband, Pastor Tillman, of 13 going on 14 years.
Yes.
I got started with She Ministries in 2017. It started from doing this thing on Facebook called She Speaks, and God just gave me this idea of She Ministries and being able to speak to women and help them cultivate their God-given purpose. I knew that there was a lot of women out there that was just, had a relationship with God, but yet was still trying to identify what their purpose is. And so, yeah, that's how we got started. It started with Facebook, and then it just kind of blossomed and grew, and we added products and things like that. So I'm excited to go more into it.
Yes.
Within the conversation.
Yes. So of course this podcast is about slaying your self-doubt. So everybody knows the very first question I ask is, how has self-doubt showed up in your journey?
Oh, girl, self-doubt tried to creep on in today. So I got this photo shoot coming up, and I'm overwhelmed, and I know I'm the one who making it more complicated than what it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, self-doubt, it's funny because when I was doing the prayer mats have only been out for it'll be 2 years this December.
Okay.
But I remember when the pandemic hit, and I had just made it was like my largest order, and I kind of felt some kind of way, like trying to sell prayer mats during a pandemic when people were, was losing their jobs.
Yeah.
People was sick, I was just like, dang, should I be selling this right now? And I talked to a friend of mine, and she was like, of all the times, people definitely need a prayer mat.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, people, if you didn't believe in God before Corona, I don't know what's gonna make you believe, because
Listen.
he shut the whole world down,
Yes. Yes.
and so that was one of those things, like, you kind of look at situations and you start to think of other people, but you ignore the concept or the vision that God has given you. And so I learned in that moment to push past that, and I sold out.
Yeah. Come on now.
So yeah.
Not like you sold a few. You said I sold out.
Yeah, I
Like,
sold out. Yeah.
listen. So there is something about, during this time, I definitely have said the same thing through all of the heartache, the loss, the sickness, everything. Like, I've said that this has been a blessing for some people, right? And a lot of people's like, oh, I don't like it when people say that. And the thing about it is, I'm like, God uses anything. He uses any situation,
Oh,
like it doesn't matter what it is. It's all for his good. And so I think it's about perspective. And so for me, that resonates with me as well, because I was feeling the same thing. Like, okay, like I left my job in June of 2019. So to start, 2020, I was like, okay, we going in this, and then boom, I was like, this don't even feel right. Like you feel like, and then and the thing about it is that I had to learn, like, that's not your business. That is not, God asked you to do something, and so you just continue to move forward. And the people that are for you will come to you, and God will work all of that out. That's us minding his business and trying to do his job for him. Well, that's not what he called you to do. He called you to create these prayer mats and sell them. Okay, and
that's right.
that's the icing on the cake for you to sail all the way out. And yes, you're right. During this time has been the time that people needed to, those of us who are believers and who needed to get reconnected, right? That is a way to be able to just, kind of heighten that experience, because a lot of times, you do it, you're praying in your bed or in the shower or in the car, but to be able to take that time and just have a mat that you could just kind of lay out. Like, that was the reason why I purchased mine before the pandemic, but that was the reason why, because I wanted to. I'm like, I like everything else pretty. Like, why not allow this time that I am, spending in my devotional time and prayer with God to be, be fancy and bougie too. Like, I want all of that. And so congratulations to you for just being obedient during that time, because it's a lot of people who, like I said, including myself, who just would have allowed their self-doubt to just like, nah, I'm gonna wait. And then what are you waiting for? Right? Like, waiting for what? Because clearly,
Waiting for what?
So what have you learned about yourself during this journey that you didn't know before?
Listen to myself, listen to my body when I need to take a break. You don't have to be superwoman. You don't have to conquer the world. The world is not yours to conquer. So I've learned to rest. I've learned to take a nap every day. That's something I do every single day. And I've learned to, trust myself and, honor my no. I've learned how to say no a lot in this season and to honor it.
Yeah. Um, I like that, to honor your no, to be able to say no and mean it, right? There's so many times that we overextend ourselves, not only to other people, but even to ourselves. And that, along with the understanding and respecting your body to be able to rest and to be able to just like really chill out. Those things are super important. So what do you do when, because I know that, in entrepreneurship and in, building a business, there are moments where you kind of got to push through, you know what I'm saying, depending on what the situation is. What do you do in those moments that keep you like level-headed, but not like in like complete overwhelm?
No, I think that it's important to remember your why and to honor that, right? And it's so funny you asked that, because I was just talking to a friend of mine and I told her, there's days that go by that I don't get not one sale. Right.
Yeah.
There's been weeks that's gone by and I didn't get a sale. But during those times, I have to be conscious of my why, and at the end of the day, for me, because it is a business and a ministry.
Yeah.
it's God, you know, I give myself grace to be human and to have those moments.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm on an assignment. I have a vision that God has given me that has to be fulfilled. And until that vision becomes a reality, I mean, it's like the first insight of the vision was what the prayer mats look like and what does She Ministry looks like and who is my target audience. Okay, well, now that I've been able to identify those, it's like he expands the vision, right? A little bit more. Now I
Yeah.
want you to do this. Now I want you to do that. So until the vision is completed and it's I know what he gave, I know what he downloaded in me. I can see it.
Yeah.
But until it becomes a reality, then there's still more work for me to do. So during those moments where I'm kind of down and out, I go through the motion, I feel what I feel. But then the next day, you got to get up. I'm putting together boxes that the paramedics got to go in, even if I don't have a sale. Why? Because eventually these boys gonna move.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, I'm doing research. I'm connecting with people. So it's, business, being an entrepreneur is not always about sales. It's
Yeah.
it's about growing. It's about perfecting the craft. For me, it's a one. I am the creator, the owner, the human resources, the customer. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm
Yes.
everything.
Yes.
Order fulfillment. And so, there's more room to grow, more things to learn. And during those down moments, that's where that has to kick in.
Yeah, and one of the things that resonated with me was like preparing and staying in preparation mode, right? Because a lot of times we get in these spaces where nothing is moving, and when self-doubt does kick in, we end up just kind of stalling, and we're like paralyzed in that, like, because nothing on the outside is moving. But God is still, like you said, God is still, you have a vision that has to be fulfilled. Your work is not complete, it is not done. And so you have to keep moving, even when you can't see that things are happening. It's still happening because there's still work that needs to be done. Like you said, there's still connection, there's still it's still business that has to happen, even if you're not getting the sales. Sales isn't the only thing that's about it. And I think that a lot of times we get, lately I've been so I watched Transformation Church, and so he's been talking about paper chases and versus purpose chases, and learning that you're not going to get anywhere any faster by chasing the money. Like, it, when you have been given a God-given purpose, that is what you have to stay focused on. That is the thing that you have to keep at the forefront of your mind, because it ain't yours. That is the one thing I have to continuously remind myself, is that slaying self-doubt does not belong to me. It was not anything I thought of. It wasn't anything I wanted. Literally, God gave it to me. And so I have to keep doing his work. Like, that is it. So I totally agree with that. Like, you just got to keep that at the forefront of your mind so that you're able to continue to keep moving. Um,
Absolutely.
so She Ministries, let's talk about all the things. We got prayer mats, we got, and I see now you got stuff for, you got the kids prayer mat, which is so cute. Uh we got a book. Like, let's talk about all things She Ministries.
Yeah, so SHE is an acronym for spiritual, humble, and elegant. I feel that is the essence of womanhood, a woman who knows who she belongs to.
Yeah.
Um, she's not cocky, but she's confident, so she's humble. And she got a little style to her, a little swag. And
Yes.
so I really basically described myself. But no,
Okay
I think that, yeah, I feel like there's a lot of she's out here.
then.
And
Yes.
so I'm really big on purpose, and I think a lot of times we pursue passion over purpose.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Things that we're good at, we're like, oh, we kind of, stick the hat there and we're like, oh, this is what I need to do, but never taking the time out to consult with God or
Yeah.
get confirmation from God. Is this what you're called? Is this what I'm called to do in this season? So yeah, that's kind of the foundation of She Ministries, helping women identify their God-given purpose, and all of my products. So I have my first product, baby, is my 31-day devotional called Her Walk, The Journey Within. And each day starts out with a scripture, and then we kind of go into more detail concerning the title. So it's not traditional devotional.
Okay.
One of the devotionals is called A Lesson from My Stilettos.
Oh.
And I'm talking about in this Christian walk is not always comfortable. Sometimes you got to step high, step over some things, over some people to get where God has called you to be. So yeah, that was the first product that I did, and that did really well. I'm actually doing a 31-day challenge right now on Clubhouse.
Yes.
On the Clubhouse app. Yeah, with about 50 women. And each night I come on at 8 p.m. and we just kind of talk about that day, that challenge for the day, and then I pick a winner at the end of each week. So I'll be doing that challenge with the book quarterly on the last month of each quarter.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, really excited about that. And then the next thing that God gave me was the prayer mat. I had a couple other little products in between that. I had a shoe bag because some stuff I laugh at now, like, girl, what was you thinking? But I had a couple other little products. They just didn't stick. I mean, they sold, but I was just like, okay, that was just a little phase. That was me trying to interject what I wanted to do.
Listen.
And God was like, okay, I'll let you get a little penny, but that ain't really what I'm trying to do with
Come
it.
on now. You was out of order. He was like, okay, go ahead. Keep playing around.
Completely out of order. So the next thing he gave me was the prayer mats. And it's such a unique product because they don't exist, especially with Christians. A lot of times when I tell people about the prayer mat, they think of like, other religions, the Islam faith.
Yeah.
Islamic faith. But I'm like, Christians, we pray, we get on our knees. And so it's a double layered mat. But yeah, it can be used as a fitness mat, and it's fully engraved with scripture. So the first prayer mat is they're pink and purple. It has Luke 1:45, blessed is she who believed that the Lord would fulfill his promise to her. And that's fully engraved. And then I also came out with matching prayer journals.
Oh, nice.
To go with the prayer mats. Yeah. So, and then we have, like I said, I'm a mom of 4. So my little 3-year-old, Luke, we call him Boss Baby Luke. He he kept getting on my prayer mat. And so, and then one day he was walking around the house. He just kept singing, Jesus loves me, this I know for the Bible. He just kept singing it all day long. And so I was like, put it on a prayer mat for kids. Yeah. So he actually helped me design. I said, what do you want in your prayer mat? He said, I want stars, I want balloons, I want a rainbow, I want flowers. So like in the corner of the prayer mats are his little designs.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah. So I'm really grateful and thankful to God that he gave me that concept and that idea, so much so I went and got a trademark, because I'm like, wow, when I did my research, I saw that it didn't exist, and I'm like, oh God, you really didn't gave me something here.
And that's the thing when we talk about purpose, which I think is so wonderful about this story, is that a lot of times we don't realize that it's so in my journey, in the beginning, when I was like, Lord, you sure you want me to do this? You sure this is what you want me to do? Like, you don't want to give it to no, I told you I don't want to be an entrepreneur. I don't really feel comfortable with doing certain things. And I had a session with somebody, a clarity coach, who was just like, the Lord saw fit to find his way to reach to you to say, Felicia, this is yours. I'm giving you this. And exactly what you said, and knowing that, like, he said, okay, I got this thing, and it's Catrina's. Catrina is going to do this. Catrina is going to see the complete. I ain't even giving it to nobody else. She won't even see it anywhere else. She has to see it all the way through. And it is just a testament to how, like you was telling your story, I had like goosebumps. Like, this right here is like being able to literally see God putting purpose in an individual and saying, I am giving this to you and you need to execute it and you need to, walk out my vision. And so, I'm sure there's a lot of women who have purchased your items and been, like inspired by you. So, first of all, thank you for your obedience, okay? Because we all know that we can get caught up in our own self and what we want to do and what we think we should do, that it delays our obedience. So thank you for being obedient, not sitting on it, not waiting, until things passed or whatever the case may be. Like, you're continuing to move forward in order for people to get connected, right? Because every single thing that we do in purpose is connected to somebody else. Had you not created them prayer mats, I would not have seen it. It would not have inspired me to purchase it, which then would not have said, when I'm thinking about women who inspire me, you wouldn't have been on my pitch list, right? Which means that we wouldn't be even having this
Right.
conversation. And
Yeah.
so when you're able to see how he connects us to each other, like, we're not meant to do this life by ourselves, and you don't know how your purpose is connected to someone else's purpose. So that's a
So
word
true.
for somebody that, like, don't keep sitting on what he gave you.
Yes.
Because it's for you. Now, I've always said, I've said this plenty of times on the show. I relate probably mostly to Moses and how he was just telling, I don't talk right and this, that, and the third. And I remember my pastor doing this sermon about it. And he's like, and then Aaron came and then the Lord gave it to Aaron, and they went out, and the way he was preaching it was like, sometimes you need Aaron to help you. And I took it as, I don't want Aaron coming to get slaying self-doubt. That's mine. It is mine. He gave it to me. And so I took it as, okay, you stop playing around, because he gonna send the Aaron. If you send Aaron,
That's right.
then what you gonna do? Right? You gonna be like, wait, Lord, no, hold up. Well, I'm ready now. And I just was like, no, not at all. So thank you for being obedient. Like, I am. And even with you doing the clubhouse, I'm gonna have to see if I can get on it depending on the day. To, like, getting the word out, right? Like, I feel like we've had such a, as Christians, sometimes we've had such a bad rap because of the perception of what Christianity should look like. And I truly believe, like, humanizing it, like, no, we regular people every single day who are just, we're just walking in purpose and trying to do it. It doesn't have to be what it is perceived to be, right? And so it's, I think that it's a beautiful thing to be able to make it something that is relatable to other people, where people can see it. They can genuinely see God working through us. And I think that is what is going to continue to, grow the kingdom.
I totally agree. I think, transparency is something that I try to do my best in leading out with, and letting people know, yes, I'm a pastor's wife. I'm human just like you. I got
Mm-hmm.
issues just like you, insecurities, all of these different things. Sometimes we put people so high up on a pedestal, we don't give them room to fall.
Yeah.
And so I'm big on, leading out with transparency. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. And I believe that we're human first, right? And so that is what people need to be able to see, no matter what your position is, no matter what your status, your title, all of those things are, we are human first. And I think that that's important with this whole connection and being obedient in your purpose, because the other person who's going to be connected to you needs to be able to see that vulnerability and needs to be able to see that transparency so that they can do their work as well. And for me in the beginning, it was very much so like, oh, well, I need to make sure I have slayed myself out before I go out here telling people, what they should be doing. And the Lord got me together real quick and was like, that's not what we're doing. And this is a journey. People,
Right.
they need to see you, and they need to see what I do in you. They need to see what I do through you in order to know that it's possible, because it doesn't go away. Self-doubt, like you just said, like, you've been doing this, but you about to do a whole photo shoot and you already like, I know I'm setting myself up. It's it's a process. It's not it's a journey that we have to go through. And every time we come up against it, because when you are walking in purpose, the enemy will try to throw you off your game. Like, don't get it twisted. He will be like,
Oh,
oh,
that's his
okay.
job. Yeah, he's consistent. He's consistent in what he do. He's here to steal, kill, and destroy.
Every
Period.
day of
Like
the week.
necessary. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so you have to have these things that you have to have these tactics and these practical tools, and just things that you do to keep you on, keep you on your path. And so I know, even in mentioning like how self-doubt has showed up in your journey, what do you do when you are like, when you're in a space of self-doubt and you are questioning, those things outside of, like, are there any other things practical that you do? I think I remember you saying like resting, remembering your why, anything that you do like in the moment to get yourself like, we got to get together right
Oh,
now.
absolutely. Yeah. Oh, me and Holy Spirit have a good conversation.
Yeah.
I definitely go into prayer. Um, you know, because I know sometimes my flesh tends to overcomplicate situations that are relatively simple.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it brings on a type of anxiety or stress. And at the end of the day, it's just like whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just chill out. You are getting yourself all up about a situation that doesn't even require that much energy.
Yes.
So yeah, I always go to my source, and that's through prayer, to kind of calm myself down. Especially like when it comes to like you say with self-doubt. Um, I definitely consult and talk to my husband a lot. He has a way of getting to me, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, and speaking life into me during those moments when I feel like I shouldn't be doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So he's kind of like he's that he's that coach, that's in your head that you really don't want to tell him that he right,
Right.
but he right. So yeah, and it's and I talk about this in my book. It's really important to have a support system, a circle
Mm-hmm.
that will push you and not pull on you.
Yeah. Oh.
Because a lot of times we stay around people out of loyalty, but
Mm-hmm.
really if they pulling on you, then that might not be your person anymore. I
Yeah.
need to be around some people that are sharper than me. The Bible talks about iron sharpens iron. Well, for me, if I'm the sharpest knife in a drawer, then it's time for me to relocate. I need to be around some people that's more elevated than me, so that I can have something to glean from. So being able to rely on my circle, to kind of speak life into me during those moments where I may be doubting myself is very important.
Yes, that's a word right there, y'all. Like, we talk about community a lot on here, and having the right people around you, and I think that, yeah, when you're going through these, especially in entrepreneurship, because there's not a whole lot of people doing what we're doing, and everybody's at different levels, and everybody may or may not have the right intentions, but you have to have the discernment of the people and knowing who truly has your back, who truly you will allow to be able to pour into you, and being mindful of how often your cup is empty. If you always pouring into other people, into these relationships, and you're not getting anything back, I always say that you have to evaluate it just like anything else, so that you can be whole. Like, you can't pull from an empty cup. So if all you're doing all day long is letting people, take from you, you have to be able to have those people that can pull back into you, so that you can continue to walk in your purpose. So I think that is, you know, that definitely is something that I try to make sure that, well, I was, for a very long time, I was like, no new friends, because my friends, those are my girls from a very, very long time, and they got me right. But even with that, going forward, I had to learn in this new season, like, yes, they got you, but you need to be able to have rooms for other people to hold you, and hold space for you in other ways in this new season of your life. So I definitely am an advocate for, the right community. Not, you don't need a whole bunch of yes people around you, because that ain't gonna get you nowhere.
Absolutely. Right, right, right.
Well, thank you so much, Catrina, for being a part of this and coming on and talking to us. I really do. I can like feel it in my spirit that whatever it is that God has for you and whatever it is that He is going to lead you to, it's just going to be amazing. Like I can already tell that you are out here changing lives and you are out here just inspiring other people other than myself. And I just ask you to just continue to be obedient, continue to, be you, right? And continue to use the things that you have to be able to remain on this path because we need it. Like we including me need it.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, I appreciate everything that you're doing, and thank you for having me on your platform.
Oh, you are so welcome. So, how can people connect with you if they want to either purchase any of the products, follow you on, IG or on Clubhouse, so we can catch up to these quarterly 31-day conversations? How can we get connected to you?
Yeah, so you can first is my website, sheministries.net. She Ministries, MINISTRIES.net. On Instagram, it is S.H.E _ministries. And on Clubhouse, it's just Catrina with a C, Tillman, Tillman. My website, sheministries.net, including a 31-day devotional if you're interested.
Oh, well, I will make sure all of that information is in the show notes. Y'all know I make sure that we stay connected. So thank you so much for being on the show. And I look forward to talking to you in other arenas.
All right. Thank you again for having me.
You're welcome. All right, y'all, that's all for this week. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to share, subscribe, rate, and review. Remember to head over to Facebook and Instagram and follow me at Slaying Self-Doubt. Oh, wait, don't forget, go to my YouTube channel and watch this episode, and remember to press the subscribe button. Until next week, see ya.